Every 23 seconds, someone in the United States is diagnosed with diabetes. During the month of November, the American Diabetes Association puts the focus on those who are affected by it and to educate those who aren't but could be. Let's get the conversation going with American Diabetes Association CEO Kevin Hagan and Jessica, who's living with diabetes. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, and thanks for having us.
Sure. Let's start with some basic information. How many Americans suffer from diabetes?
Well, diabetes is a growing issue here in the United States. There are currently 29 million Americans who are living with diabetes and about another 86 million Americans who are at risk of diabetes as what we would classify as pre-diabetes. And of those 86 million, only about 10% actually know that they're at risk. So this is one of the ideas around our November campaign during American Diabetes Month, really is to raise awareness and educate people about the disease and about the potential risk. Because as you mentioned, every 23 seconds someone is diagnosed with diabetes here in the U.S. So think about that in terms of if this were a contagious disease. If someone was being diagnosed every 23 seconds, this would be the lead story on every news station every night.
So why is it so important to take urgent action to address diabetes and its complications?
Well, I think it's critical that we take urgent action for a couple of reasons. The first reason is obviously if you are at risk or have diabetes, earlier diagnosis is always better because there are some pretty significant complications that can come from diabetes, including vision problems, potential strokes, heart disease, as many other potential complications. So it's really important for early diagnosis. And then the urgency around the U.S. taking this seriously is the fact that I shared with you just a second ago. 86 million Americans are at risk for diabetes and only 10% of them know it. When you think about that, that's a huge potential of people that could be diagnosed in the coming years. So getting the awareness out and getting people focused on talking to their physicians about their risk is really a critical component of the American Diabetes Month.
All right, well, you mentioned awareness, so we have got a hashtag campaign, This is Diabetes. Tell us more about it.
Sure. So the This is Diabetes campaign really is for us to hear from America. The people who are living with diabetes, the family members of people with diabetes, and the caregivers. So we're asking them to share real life stories with us and use the hashtag #ThisIsDiabetes on any social media platform, as well as they can go to our website and share their stories at diabetes.org/ADM for American Diabetes Month.
Jessica, we want to work you into the conversation here. How are you able to get your disease under control, and what simple advice would you have for others?
Well, first off, I will admit that initially when I was diagnosed with prediabetes, I was in denial and did not think it would actually come to fruition. I always associated that with other family members or my grandmother or my parents, but not me. And being diagnosed in my early 30s with diabetes was kind of a shock. I did have to go ahead and make some lifestyle changes. But I also had to address the fact that this is a part of my family history and reach out to my family and get that kind of support in managing my diabetes. My mother in particular has been my #1 champion in helping me feel inspired to manage this in a proactive way.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're doing well, feeling well. Where can our viewers go online for more information if they want to find out more about the campaign or just educate themselves more on diabetes?
Well, I will tell you that the best website in the world for diabetes information is the American Diabetes Association, since we are the world leaders and write the standards of care that are used in physicians' offices all over the country. So you can visit that website at diabetes.org. It is chocked full of information that will help you understand the disease more, as well as there are even some risk tests that you can take online to see if you should talk to your physician about your risk for diabetes.
Great tools and a great way to get that message out there. Our thanks to both of you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.